Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today it's Decisive Campaigns Ardennes Offensive, and we are going to tackle the Grand Campaign. So we're going to play the big one. Now, if you want to know how to play the game or look at a more fulsome discussion of the game mechanics, the UI, and different concepts in the game, look at our Let's Play of the Aracourt scenario, where I really take my time, go through, try to explain the different game mechanics. All right. In this one, we're going to be playing, and that doesn't mean I'm just going to sit silent. Obviously, if you've been around the channel for a while, you know that's impossible for me to do. I will be talking through why I'm doing certain things, but this will be less about pure tutorial and more about playing the grand campaign itself. Okay, and why am I doing this one? Well, I love this game. I love this system. I want to support this developer, VR Designs, which is actually just one guy, but he makes amazing games. These Decisive Campaigns games and Shadow Empire are some of the best strategy games you're ever going to find. And this system that he's done for Ardennes Offensive, I think, is just amazing. And I hope he continues to make games with this system because I really, really like it. It's right there up maybe just below the Grigsby games, but this has got some interesting ideas that even those games don't have. And so, anyway, I want to support the game, and also I just want to play it. I enjoy it, and so I want to play the Grand Campaign. And I thought, well, you know what? Let's record it, and we may as well, because I know that if you are a member of this channel or a subscriber to this channel, these are the kind of games that you will enjoy because they're thinkers, and we're going to play it through. So anyway, we're going to be the Axis. Why is that? Well, the AI, of course, is generally always better on the defensive, and so we'll be on the offensive. One of these times we'll play the Allies. I guess when we play War in the West, but um, for this one, we're going to be the Axis. So let's go ahead and pick the Grand Campaign for the Axis. Now, I want to say up front, I have not practiced this. I have not played the Grand Campaign at all. Everything that happens here will be as new to me as it is to you. I've only played that Aracourt scenario. I haven't played any of the other scenarios. And so, this is all going to be fresh. So anyway, we're going to play challenging AI difficulty. So it's bumped up one. It gives the AI some buffs and bonuses, gives us some penalties, I believe. We're going to slow this down to slow AI speed. I've been told the AI operates much better or does a better job when it's on slow speed. Now, there is a massive number of counters on this map, and so if it starts to bog down when we do turn resolution, I may do some of that offline, and then we'll come back and talk about the high points, or maybe not. I mean, we'll just see. Okay, we're the Axis. The allies will be the AI. We are going to have Fog of War on, obviously. We are going to take uncertainty off. Uncertainty is really for replayability. It causes some units to perform better, other units to perform worse than they would their base level. Well, it's our first time through the game, so we don't need that level of unpredictability, or replayability. It's our first time. We're going to keep historical weather. I have not looked up at the old Farmer's Almanac to see exactly what the weather was during the Battle of the Bulge. I assume it's going to be cold. We're in December. I assume it will probably be a little overcast or raining because the Germans wanted that. I mean, that's why they attacked when they did, to provide some cover from the Allied air attacks. So, anyway, I'm going to assume that, but I really have no idea. We'll find out together. All right, here's the Grand Campaign description. It's going to run from the 16th through the 31st of December, 1944. That is 64 turns. Each turn has 4 parts. It has a morning part, a day part, an afternoon, and an evening part. So 4 times 64. Oh my God, what is that? 256 kind of overall parts that we'll be playing. So this is going to be a big one. It's going to take a little bit. I'm going to try to keep these moving. Like I said, unlike the Aracourt scenario, we're not going to stop and describe every single thing. We're going to keep the game moving along. The first plan of a major counteroffensive on the Western Front was secretly discussed during September of 44, and Hitler hoped to launch such an attack against Patton's Third Army during the fighting for Metz. A more detailed plan was approved by Hitler in mid-October, and on the 28th of October, he spoke of the plan to a perplexed von Rundstedt. Okay. With a proposed start date at the end of November 1944, the offensive would be against the line from Monschau to Echternach, with Antwerp as the ultimate goal. The plan was kept secret up until the last moment. The commanders didn't know about it until December 12th. Allied air superiority forced Hitler to launch the attack during a period of bad weather, but it was intended that during this time, the Luftwaffe would dominate over the battlefield as Goering promised 3,000 fighters. Yeah, I bet he did. For the offensive. In actuality, by the 16th, the Luftwaffe only had 1,300 operational planes of all types on the entire Western Front against more than 5,000 Allied planes. So we're going to have to hide in towns to try to keep that Allied air off of us and hope for bad weather. Well, it says down here the only cards we have are surprise and bad weather. Okay, well, we've got all of this picked the way we want. You see the map, but we'll go look at the strategic map. And let's start. We'll talk some grand strategy. We'll talk about what I'm going to try to accomplish. We'll check out some cards and we'll look at the order of battle. And then we'll get going. But I'm going to really kind of try to move through those things. I mean, to the extent that you want to know more about them. Obviously, if you got the game, you can boot it up. I mean, it's going to be an ongoing conversation throughout this game. We've got plenty of time if there's 256 parts. Okay, round one. So in the morning of day one, so the 16th of December, it is, excuse me, overcast and just below zero. Okay, well, that's great. We want the overcast. And then if we look at rounds 2, 3, and 4, so all of day one, we get overcast and just below zero every single part. All right. Day 2, so tomorrow, morning, day, afternoon, we'll get mist just below zero. All right. Well, that's good for us, right? Since we're not using random weather, this will always be correct. Okay, we have 42 victory points occupied on the map. We need 150 for a major victory, 110 for a minor victory. All right, we're just going to talk about the victory ones. I'm not going to talk about what major and minor losses are. That's not going to happen, right? Last round to be played is January 1st, 1945, and we have no losses for troops. We will accumulate or lose points for troops as well. Here are the cards received this time. We've got Yabo. This is actually ground support from the Luftwaffe. We've got supply drops, air recon, which we're probably going to need some of, paradrops, which we may want to explore. Although if the weather's not good, paradrops might be a little harder to pull off. The grief team. Now, these were historically guys that were behind German. I said guys, Germans behind the American lines that actually wore American uniforms. It was kind of controversial. They wore American uniforms and tried to sow chaos back there. Okay, so we may use that. Minor, medium depots. We've got bridge stuff, trucks, Feldersatz, major depots, Luftwaffe, Kampfgruppe. Okay, we'll get into all that as we go along. And here is what I believe is a beautiful map. Now, I know some people don't like the graphics. Uh, Look, this is a board game at its heart. It does calculations that only a computer can do, but I think this is a fine looking board game. And if we just kind of look at the big picture here and move down so you can see just exactly how massive this map is, the Americans are in the green back here. Now, we haven't, we've got fog of war, right? So we're only seeing hexes where we have some recon levels on them, right? And so that's what we're seeing. Our troops are a little brighter colors, although it's really kind of hard to see. If we scoot in here, you can see it a lot better. Here are the Americans. We've got this kind of goldish, grayish. We've got some, violet, I guess. What is this? Aquamarine? Sure. As people that have watched War in the East 2 know, I've become an interior decorator with these color schemes. First SS is out here. Well, we know that this is where the main thrusts will come with the Panzers. We've also got the Panzer groups down here. So we've got 5th and 6th Panzer. We know that. We've got some Panzers down here, but we'll look at all of that. Let's look and see. I'm still going all the way to the south here. So from south to north, I mean, we've got a lot of units on this map. Let's look at the strategic map very quickly. All right, I say quickly. We'll see how quick it is. Here is the strategic map. As you can see from the point displays here. Bastogne is the only thing kind of here before the main river that's worth 10 points. We've got a lot of 5-pointers out in this way. And then as we get back here to the river, like Liege is 10, Way is 10, Namur is 10, all the way back here, Jamblot is 20, Biello, is that how you say it? I'm not familiar with that town. That's 20. Demont is 20, is 10, 10. So you can see this is our goal right up here. I mean, we can get points in the south, don't get me wrong, but we're going to be expecting counterattacks from Patton in the south, and we want to be a little more defensive down this way as far as just looking for counterattacks, maybe try to get on this river or on the rivers here. You can see the major roads in gold moving through here, and of course the rivers in blue. They're also in black, the minor roads. Little hard to see here. We're going to have to zoom in. My basic idea here is where we already have the bulge. We're going to go after Bastogne, but then once we do, we're going to be turning north. Now we're going to try to get an envelopment, actually probably right here behind or at St. Vith, and try to get an envelopment of American forces here. In the north, I'm going to try to go straight north almost, maybe up to Rotkin, get a little pocket here, or maybe out here to Eupen, and get a bigger pocket if we can down this major road and pocket American troops here. If we can free them up in the north, then we can just really start pushing towards Liege here. But of course, the main thrust is going to be this direction as we try to push back to the main river. Okay, let's show the headquarters just very quickly. We've got two USS, no, two SS up here, a Panzer SS Corps. We've got, what is this, 74th that's up here. We've got 67th. You can see the bigger boxes for the bigger commands. We've got 6th Panzer. All right, we've got 5th Panzer. We've got HGB back here, and that is actually commanded by Modal. So Modal will be here, but 5th Panzer, 6th Panzer, I mean, that kind of tells you where our main thrust is going to be. And then down here, I mean, we do have, panzers down this direction. We've also got 75th down here. We've got 80th. We've got 53rd along the line here. We've got 67th, 58th. And so, we're going to go through every single one of these. We could sit here and talk about this map all day, but instead, let's get out on the map. And I'm going to do just like I do War in the East. We're going to start in the north and move to the south. All right, so what do we have up here in the north? Well, let's zoom in a little bit. Here is kind of our overall command in the north, as I'll call it, which is 74th. So this is 74th Corps. All right, and the officer out here is Pukler. Pukler is not the best general in the world. He's got a 30 audacity, 40 defensiveness. He's got 30 on charisma. Intuition's 30, decent organizer at 40. Not the greatest, certainly. Um, Okay, so we've got that up here. Who does he command? Well, you can see it in lit up here. He's got the 89th. So this is the 89th Infantry Division. All right, and that is under Walter Bruns. Bruns 40, 40, 30, 40, 10. Eh, he's all right. He's all right. Not great, but he's okay. Okay, I think that, and if we look at the order of battle here, so this is the air group, and we see here, well, that's what? Yeah, that's the 74th under Pukler. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. It's directly under the here group. Um, so this is 74th, and then under him, we've got the 89th Infantry Division here. So that's it. He's only got this one division all the way up here in the north. We've also got two SS here, so two SS Panzer Corps. What do they have underneath here? Not a whole lot. They've just got some artillery for now. We may get some reinforcements into that, get some more Panzers into 2SS. I doubt they would have the command out here if we weren't going to get more, and we can always go look at the reinforcements at some point or when we expect them. But for now, we'll just leave this as is. Okay, well that's it. That's it for the Great White North up here, all kind of in this goldish. And again, this is 57th Corps all the way back here. Did I just say 57th? 74th. 74th. Okay. Let's move the Corps command up. He's a little far back here. He doesn't need to be this far back here, I don't think. Let's put him on march mode. Yes. And what do we have here? Wheeled 4x4s. All right, let's get to moving, boys, in our 4x4s. Let's see how far we can go. We're going to want to keep him in towns because of Allied air, right? We may as well bring him all the way up here to Hasenfeld, which is a little town, and get him really kind of moving up here to the front. Okay, so let's first of all just bring him here, make sure we're not getting any kind of return fire, and we'll get him right around into Hasenfeld, and then we'll take him off of march mode. All right, that protects him better if he does get attacked by the air. And also, if we look at the hex stats, this is Hasenfeld. It is considered a minor city 1. That will give him some protection from the air. Okay, and you can see what's directly underneath him, including core artillery. So we have this core artillery, and we've also got these core infantry units. Now, they are static right now. And if we go up to kind of our reports here, um, let's see, round 1 conditions. We already looked at the weather. The supply report. Supply source is at 155.52. Let's go look for that very quickly. Where are we at now? 139.2. This is, the XY. So we're going to need to come down here. It's going to be at 52.159. So it goes this way. It's going to be back over here somewhere. Where is it? Well, let's see right here. What hex is that? 155.35. Further? Is it further? What was this again? Sorry, 155.52. Okay, it's a little further north from there. This is 155.28. No, it's a little farther south. Okay, I'll get there. It is. Hey, it's the big box, the supply source. Now, in this playthrough, we're going to talk a lot more about supply, basically because we have to, right? I mean, it's going to be very important. So, supply will be coming on the map here. Here's a minor supply source that gives this a boost. But as we keep going further and further out here, we're definitely going to have to worry about our supply situation. So there's that. What else reports? Victory conditions, replacements. We did get some replacements here, including a captured tank and a captured truck. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, we'll talk more about that. We got fuel. That also came into that 155.52. So that's our main place to look. That's our main supply source coming onto the map. We are getting political points here each turn. Right now, we're getting 20 because we hold Prum and Bitburg. If we capture, let's say, St. Vith, we will get more. We'll get 10 more if we get St. Vith's. That's, this will kind of tell you what's important too, right? To go after 10 if we get Bastogne, and then 5 if we get some of these more, I guess, minor locations per turn, right? So keep that in mind. AP reductions report. Oh, these are the static units. These are units that can't move yet. So it just tells us they lost 100 AP. Well, they didn't really lose them in the sense that they never really had them, but they are static here at the start. Now, what does this say? Activates if enemy is within 1 hex. Okay, interesting. So some of these will activate, these don't. But these down here, they activate some of them within 3 hexes, some of them within 1 hex. Okay, well, good to know. And then we received a bunch of cards. Speaking of which, let's go back up to our core headquarters then. We'll look at the officer. Here's his cards. He's got 10 command points. He gets 2 per part, two every time we turn the game. So he's got 10 now. He could do visit the front, visit a headquarters, and increase morale. Well, I don't think we need to do that yet. He's not very charismatic either, is Pukler. So, okay, sorry, Mr. Pukler. We don't want you to visit. The two infantry, I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. The two infantry back here can't move. Then we have artillery. 992, 992. Okay, so this is connected. Their commander is Pukler. Let's look at the unit. It's directly connected to the core, so this is core artillery. You can see the guns here. We have some 210 millimeters. Well, let's actually though. Nah, let's start down here. That's fine. Oh, we've got some more down here. What is this? He is directly to that core. No, this is 67th Corps. Okay. 67th Corps. These are directly connected to 67th Corps. Well, we're up here and we're at 74th Corps. So they're not connected. That's a very similar color scheme. We'll have to look into that. All right. So we've got the one infantry division here, the 89th Infantry Division. You can see all of the units under its command, just like if we click on the core, you can see the units directly under his command. And you can see here the core artillery that we have, the two back here. Well, this is connected to that. Okay, maybe I just misread that. I'm sorry. Or was I looking back here? I was looking back here at the Stug. Okay, so these three artillery back here are core artillery, which are going to have bigger guns. Well, what are we going to try to do with this division? Essentially, we're going to try to pin these American troops because I'm going to try to go around up this main road here and envelop and encircle these troops. We're going to try to take this division here, move up the main road to Rocken, and completely envelop these guys. If we can. If we can. Okay, so this division is going to be pinning more than anything. And let's take a look at their bigger artillery and where we want to start firing. Now, we are going to move to the extent we can, but we're not going to really be attacking a whole lot of here. Now, maybe with artillery, but not ground attacking, right? The more important places for like this artillery to hit is, okay, if we look down here at this division, and where does this division go back to? He goes back to 67th Corps. All right. There is 67th Corps. So this is the Corps headquarters down here. This is the Corps headquarters for this one division up here. Um, we're going to want to move straight up this road. We can see here that is a roadblock. Now, that's not something we encountered in the Aracourt scenario, but that's a roadblock. So he's got a roadblock and two cavalry. That's not very imposing out here. So we're going to try to bust right through here in the north and encircle all of this. All right. Which may mean that we're doing more pinning action here. And what do I mean by pinning? Well, we're not going to really attack a whole lot. But before we get going, then, let's go ahead. How far can we shoot down here? Well, quite a ways. But I actually think I want to hit this infantry here. With the big artillery like this, they'll just shred up infantry. The hard targets, even cavalry, or the armor, you can see the American armor back here, cavalry there, they're not as prone to the artillery. So let's have our first attack of the game here right here. We're not going to play the core card. He is directly attached to the core, so we can start firing core assets. And let's hit right here. You can see we're going to get no return fire, and we're off. Let's see what kind of damage we do to this infantry, American infantry regiment. We fire 8 guns total, the 170s and the 210s. We cause 20 GI veteran casualties, and we take out 2 trucks. Okay. Now then, we've got more of the core artillery here. Let's hit that unit again because we've got him a little surrounded, and I think we're going to try to attack there. So let's try to soften him up as much as we can. We take out 157 millimeter AT gun, 10 GI veterans, and 6 trucks. Okay. Great. And then we've got one more core artillery back here, but you can see he doesn't have any kind of line of sight to this down here, so we're going to shoot up this way. Now we may eventually bring him around here so he can participate more in this, but let's hit this infantry unit. They're double stacked. They've got cavalry and infantry there. Let's go ahead and fire the core artillery there. Soft targets, we're always looking for soft targets. Don't do a whole lot of damage there. Now we do take out a M375. Okay, we take out a Jeep and 2 trucks. Well, we hit some hard targets, sure enough. Do we have anything else back here? I just want to make sure we don't. Nothing else we can move. Now, I said the Stug is part of 67th Corps, so it's down here. Little darker brown. We have Stugs sitting back here. We'll have to remember that. We've also got 2nd SS and some Artie back here. We'll have to remember that. Okay, and I will, because obviously I keep going back there time after time. Now let's shoot our regimental artillery or divisional if we've got some. And we do have some divisional artillery here out of the 89th. So that's 189th, that's divisional artillery. Let's go ahead and really, we could shoot all the way down here, but let's go ahead and hit this unit again and try to soften him up. We may try to move down that road a little bit. And we do take out 10 GIs. We also take out 3 trucks. Okay, doing some damage. Is there anything else in that hex? No. Okay, I want to bring that up. I like to have that on. Already moved the core. Here's the division. We actually probably want to move him up. You can see these guys are not full, or these guys are not fully under his command here because, he gets 100% in the green, 75% in the yellow. Is this a town? Look at this hex. No, it's just plains. Is this a town? No. I thought maybe the Artie was in a town. We could scoot him down here and put him with the core headquarters. Is there any other town we could potentially put him in? Not seeing it there. Um, Not there either. Okay, well, for now, I'm just going to move the headquarters of the division down here into this town. All right, we'll double stack the headquarters for now. That puts a few more units. Now we're not going to be doing much attacking here. I eventually want to move up this road, and up this road, but we're not going to be doing that right off the jump. So we fired that already. This already. We have this artillery if we start from the south. Okay. Um, let's go ahead and help these guys out. Now, they're not our division, but I really think we're probably going to do a concentric attack there. So let's go ahead. We get no return fire. We're out of their range. See if we do any more damage. Okay, and we keep kind of knocking down their readiness a little bit anyway. He takes 10 more casualties of men there. All right, so that was that artillery. We've only got an anti-tank unit here. Something to keep in mind. We're probably going to have to scoot him here. Now, I'll talk about this, many times during this, but the elevations can be hard to see unless you're really zoomed up here, right? But you can see them here. So like this elevation is a height 2. This elevation is a height 1. So we do have an elevation advantage there. It also goes into what you can see. And this is a height 0. So we're coming off of these hills, headed downhill here. So something to keep in mind. This guy will probably want to move up here. Now he may take some fire, so I'm going to wait on that. We've got pioneers here that could move up. Also, we can move these guys up because, frankly, they can't see us. There's the ridge, so we could move here. Now, they may have some kind of indirect line of sight on us, but let's go ahead and start moving these guys forward ever so slightly. Let's move him there. Okay, nothing, nothing. He's got mortars, so he could do a ranged attack if we wanted him to. So does this unit. Let's see if we get any return fire. Nope. Okay, let's go ahead and shoot our mortars at this cavalry and see if we do any damage. Nope, nothing. I mean, we only shot 281 millimeters, and they do no damage over there. Okay, well, that was, kind of just seeing what we could potentially do. I'm not going to step out here to this ridge line because we certainly would get return fire from there. All right. This guy, though, let's actually, maybe he is who I'll move down here. We can't just leave this anti-tank here all by himself. We probably are going to get some intercept fire there. So first of all, though, let's move this unit. We could move him out to here, or we could put him on this ledge. Their view should be blocked, and their view should be blocked. But before I do that, I'm going to go to the divisional commander, and I'm going to look at his cards. I'm going to find that recon card, because when he peeks out over here, I want to get as much recon as possible out in this area, just to see what he's got. So let's play the recon card. It's going to be that unit there. Let's play the card. Scoot over here. Is it that guy? No, it's this guy. Okay, we'll play the card on him. And now he'll get extra recon points when he moves forward. All right, he takes a little intercept fire, 605 millimeter howitzers, but it does no damage, not really. Yeah, it does no damage at all. And we got some more recon, and we can see more of their line now, right? We've also got engineers back here, and let's move the engineers up the road, and I'm going to sacrifice the engineers a little bit. I don't want to move the infantry regiment in here necessarily. I would rather move the engineers in here, and if we lose a few pioneers, well, I'm sorry. I'll write to the loved ones. And we are going to take 50 pioneer losses out of our 90. Oh no, we lose 251s and 250s and 3 Opal Blitzes. So they hit us hard right there. Good to know, but I think we had to have some infantry in there. The unit with any kind of movement here, I'm going to move him. I could move him in here for the triple stack. I think I. Ooh, let's move him in here for the triple stack. We lose 20 infantry for some return fire, but now we're triple stacked in there. He can't move anymore. He's moved forward. I don't want to move it forward for the fire there. We fired the artillery. We've moved the command a little bit anyway. He could also fire mortars if we wanted to. Let's just hit this unit down. We could get some return fire there. How about these guys over the hill? Yeah, we could get some return fire there. No more movement there. I'll take this artillery and we'll hit these guys. It says we'll get some return fire. We'll see. Nope. We don't lose anything. They don't lose anything. We do take down their readiness ever so slightly. Okay, let's keep moving along here. We've got infantry there, infantry here. We've got some arty back here. Let's hit this again with the artillery. All right, this time we take out 10 veterans. We take out 1 bazooka. Okay, just trying to soften that up before we eventually really start moving forward here. We've moved that. All right. I do want to move up here, up onto this ridge. If you look at this here, we're at height level 1. This is a height level 2, and we could start moving down this road. So let's bring him there. He takes no return fire there. Then we can move this infantry. He does take return fire. Wow, I'm very surprised by that. And we lose 20 infantry there. Okay, well, we're on the attack. It's going to happen. And you can see our lines starting to form a little bit here. These units I'll be a little less cautious with eventually here. What do we have here? Heavy forest snow. We probably could get away with moving into the heavy forest, but we're going to start kind of moving out this way. Now, I do think he would get some return fire there. But we could start threatening to get up and around here. I'm gonna wait. I may get a little more aggressive as we move on. It's just the morning time, right? We're not nothing crazy's happened. We're just gonna wait and maybe do a little bit of that later. We've got our Stugs back here, and now we're going to move down into this division. I think we've done everything with this division we can. We played the card from the command. Now I could move the command a little further and get everybody in, but I into full command points. But these guys are 75, and I don't want this guy to get hit by air. I say this divisional command to get hit by air. So I'm just going to kind of leave it there. Okay. Now we're into a new division, into the 272nd Volksgrenadier Division. All right, and that goes back directly here to the 67th. And you can see that here, the 67th, their officer is Hitsfield. He's pretty good on the offense and defense, 50-60. Okay, he's also pretty decent on intuition. If we go out here to the divisional command, this is Koenig, 40-50. Not great, but not terrible either. He's only got, I say only, well, that's usual. He's got 10 command points here at the start. He'll get 2 per part, so every time we flip over. So he can't really play an attack card, even though I'd like him to, because we're going to go after this unit with this division. Now, we've already fired this artillery at it. We'll go back and get those Stugs later. Now we're going to fire the divisional artillery at this unit and really start trying to soften him up. Okay, that looks good. Two 60 millimeter mortars, a bazooka, a truck, 60 GI veterans, 20 GI green, so 80 total casualty. And you can see the number of guns we have in that divisional arty. That's great. 10 U.S. trucks. We will certainly take that. Excellent. All right. We'll come back for the command. Let's see if there's any other artillery we can shoot that way. Here is the core artillery, right? And so this is directly commanded by the core, and we'll fire on that unit again. And usually core and divisional artillery is going to be bigger and more powerful. And you really want to try to hit soft targets with that. We take out two 60 millimeter mortars, two bazookas, one truck, 10 GI greens, and 4 US trucks. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We've got another one back here, but see, these guys are not within his range or line of sight, so we can't really fire that at him. You can see we got some rockets down here as well. That'll be fun. Werfer brigades. We'll get to those. But here's the core. He's got his divisional in command. Let's go ahead and move these Stugs up here. We've also got this regimental that can, I don't believe that can move. You can also see we've got a supply source up here. So if we go to the hex, it's a strategic supply base. Well, that's good to know. We saw where the main supply source is, and then we've got this strategic base. Okay, cool. This Stug, let's put it on march mode because he's got to move to the front. That is a tracked movement. And if we look at the Americans, we're going to want the Stugs near their armor. You can see armor here, cavalry here, which will probably have armored elements. This division is also under 67th Corps. So, to the extent there's armor here, we could also put it down this direction. But I see more infantry here. I see the main American armor here. So let's get this Stug moving up here. Now, like I said, it's commanded by the Corps. Is this a town? Yes, it is. Is this a town? No. All right. Well, I want the Stugen town. So he's tracked. Let's put him right on top of the division here, even though it's the Corps that commands him. We'll put him there, and I'll leave him. No, I'll take him off move mode. Let's take him off move mode. Okay, now then, we can't move him. We've got the core here. Is there anything else in this hex? Yes, we've got a regimental part here, but that can't move. We've already fired this artillery. We have not fired this, but we do have this Stug. Let's put that on tracked movement. We could get him right up here if we wanted to, but this isn't part of this core, I don't believe, or is it? Is 277th part of this core? No, he's part of 1st Panzer. Okay, good to know. So this Stug needs to move north. Let's also put him right up here. We'll put him with the Corps Command. Then we'll take him off the track. That looks good. This artillery, it's only these items down here. Now, that's not going to be attacking anything that's directly across from the core, but that's okay. I mean, you can fire artillery other directions. We do have this anti-tank that's back here. That could be quite useful because, like I said, the American armor's right up there. If we do this, we could move all the way. Wow. We can move all the way out here. For now, let's put him into town. So we'll have him go down this road. He goes directly back to the core for command. So we are going to want to move the core up if this guy's going to get into any kind of battle soon. So this is anti-tank. We bring it in here. We do get some intercept fire, but we take no losses. Thank goodness. I would have been really pissed if we would have lost that. This has also got some anti-aircraft in it, the 88 millimeter guns, so that's good to have close to the front. Let's go then to the core command and let's move it up into town. There's no reason to have it way back there if we don't have to, as long as we're moving town to town. Now, this town is a minor city 2. Woodall looks like a minor city 1, but let's go ahead and move him there, and then we'll continue moving the other stuff behind him as we go. This artillery, actually, you know what? I'm going to track this and I'm going to move it up here with him. And let's put it in there. We're not going to fire it here on the first turn, but I want to get him. Oh, he's got a shot left. I didn't think he would. Let's go ahead and attack right there then. This same unit we've just been softening up over and over and over again. Did that work? Not really. He didn't have much left after that big move, but that's okay. We fire it anyway. Got the Stoogs moving up here. Okay, now we can get into our regimental and divisional artillery to the extent we have it. And you can see the roadblock there. Well, this looks like a prime location to move through, does it not? We may as well slide this way and get out and around these American troops. I don't, why wouldn't we? Because this looks fairly soft. Now, I'm not saying it is, but it looks fairly soft anyway. So let's go ahead and hit this roadblock with the regimental arty and see what we get. Okay, we take out 2 bazookas. He's only got 3 left, and we kill all 30 rear area troops. So that essentially roadblock does barely exists anymore. So we take that out. There's our anti-tank. We've got engineers, which is good to have up here by a roadblock. As we move around here, we've also got this artillery. Let's again pick on this unit here and just hit him over and over and over and try to soften him. Okay, so this time we take out 1 bazooka, 2 trucks, 10 veterans, 10 greens, and 3 other trucks. And again, we've really hit him hard. Now, if we look back here to the back, we've got a Panzerjäger division. We're definitely going to want to move him up here by where the Americans have armor. For now, and I'm going to keep him tracked, I'm going to move him, or I'm going to keep him on combat mode. We're going to just move him up here to, oh, we did take some intercept fire there. So they were onto us. They saw us, but we take no losses. Excellent. Okay, well, that's good. So I'm going to leave him there for a moment, because we only have anti-tank here against infantry. I don't like that. I don't like that really. But again, we're going to try to scoot this way with kind of everything here and let these units then really just play a pinning role here and let the gray guys in the 272nd try to scoot around for some kind of envelopment. Rightio then. We've already shot this artillery. Where else do we've got already there, right on the line. I don't like that. We've already fired this artillery. So I think we've fired all the artillery we can. All right, so let's get into attack mode here. And this unit, we're going to get all kinds of concentric bonuses going after this unit. Let's put the attack on, and just with this part of the regiment, we get 1-to-1. Awesome. Let's also put this in, and then also this one. So the 980th, 981st Regiment, and another part of the 981st. That didn't add a whole lot. Well, yeah, it did. 9-to-1. Okay, I'm going to leave the artillery out of this. As a matter of fact, hold on. It's weird that the artillery's right here, right? It's on the height level 2. What is this? Height level 1? I'll move him back up later, but let's back him off the line. I don't like that. And he gets no return fire, so that's good. And then he can still fire, so let's do it. Let's fire from a range, right? And we lose nothing, and we take out 10 greens. We also, now he's down to a 43 readiness. So we've really hit him with quite an artillery barrage for sure. Let's go after it. 1-to-1. Let's put all 3 infantry in. Now we get 10-to-1 odds. You can see the concentric attack because we're coming from multiple angles is plus 60. All told is, wait a minute, are these guys in command range? Let's just make sure we've got full command range here. Didn't I set this on top of the headquarters? Yes. That unit is not. So let's move the headquarters forward one. Now he is, and then we can move him back. All right, so now he's in full command range. Okay, let's try this again. Now it's 11 to 1. So we got a little, bonus out of that, right? So let's hit attack and let's see what happens. Okay, so we lose 181 millimeter, one Panzerschreck, okay, and 30 Volksgrenadiers. Not terrible. The Americans get wrecked. We just absolutely wrecked. We killed that entire group. Two mortars, five more mortars, two AT guns, 18 bazookas, four trucks, 200 veterans, 30. Wow. So we just completely obliterated that off the map. You are no more, my friend. Wow. Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting quite that good of a result, but we'll take it. Now, do we have another attack available here? Again, I want these guys sliding, but if there's a decent attack, we'll take it. 1 to 2, that's not a decent attack. Um, Artillery, he's not right on this guy. Now, he could move forward. We would take some intercept fire from this, but instead of doing that, so we've got the 981st, 981st, we've got the 980th here. I'm tempted to start to loop the 980th around this way. Could I get him all the way there? No. This is Artie from the 980th. Now, he would probably take some intercept fire there. That's the only downside, but I would like to get the 980th moving around here so we can do our little slide maneuver potentially. I also think, well, we've got two Arties back there. I was thinking he could slide down a little bit, but he's also going to take some intercept fire if he does that. Maybe we'll wait and see how they react here. I don't want to take too much intercept fire. I also don't want to be too cautious, but I don't want to do anything completely stupid. But hold for 1 second. I'm going to grab a drink really quickly, and then we'll finish this up through this division. All right, I'm back. Sometimes you got to get a drink of water when you talk for 45 minutes straight. You probably didn't notice anything, but I always want to let you know when I do that. So if you think, why did the screen just do that as far as moving up to the top? That's why. Okay, we're in here in the 272nd. Now I'm going to try to move through this and the 326th, maybe. I want to keep these to about an hour, keep them zipping along. Now, you can see on the mini map how far we've gone, but we did have some introduction this time. Now, just looking this over while I was grabbing a drink there, I think this headquarters, we want to get down here because this is really where we want the command support. So let's put him on the track. Now, if he can't get all the way there, we'll have to just stop him here because I'm not going to leave him exposed. So let's put him on march mode and see if he can get all the way to town. And he can! Yay! Okay, so let's move him all the Oh, he took some intercept fire. Wow, okay. Well, we just lost the 137 millimeter flak. So they saw the headquarters moving around out here. Oh, he got hit right here. And that stopped him in his tracks. Okay, well, that's cool. That's awesome how it does that. It gets rid of all your movement points. All right, well, he come out of half track mode really quickly there. He doesn't quite extend all the way down to these guys. He's still giving them 75%, right? I also wanted to do this. Here we've got the artillery, we've got anti-tank up here. I do not like this exposed right here next to that infantry. This is a town, Huppenbrook, and so I'm going to move this back into town. All right. And then this Panzerjäger division, I think I'm going to start moving it around down this way. I don't want to move it here, intercept fire, but I do want to get it over here to this infantry at some point. Now, see, that would put him up on a level 2. Tell you what, I'm going to leave him right there. I know I'm being a little cautious, but I'm looking at these as pinning troops again, just trying to hold the Americans here because it's going to be this division that pushes up the road here. It's going to try to take the town and push up the road here for either a small envelopment or a bigger one. So, as far as moving these troops so much, that's not our number one priority. Another thing I wanted to do is get a little recon on the map. And so let's go up to our cards here and we'll go to air support, air recon. Okay. And I want to play this card. But before we do that, because I want to see if there's anything in this town. If you look, we've got Recon 53, Hide 54, so we wouldn't know if anything's in this town. Now, I suspect there is almost certainly something in this town, but I want to see first. I don't want to get too crazy here, um, and just move in here because there is almost certainly something in there. Now I want to move it back, like, play the recon card back here a little bit. Let's just center on that as we play the card. Let's go to air support, air recon, play the card. All right, and so now it brings it up, when you have it on this hex. Let's go back. I'm just going to put it right over this artillery and try to get a sense, or do I want it a little further? How about right on top of this unit? Let's put it on top of this unit, and we'll get kind of a sense of what's in here, depending on how many aircraft we can get out there. Due to weather, overcast morning, only 2 of 10 aircraft managed to participate in the mission. 2 aircraft, we managed to get up to 40 recon points on 37 hexes. Well, that's pretty good. So press any key. We've now used 3 of our political points. I wish you could do more air recon, right? Paradrop, probably not going to do that in the bad weather. Now we look and we see the recons come up to 54. Well, not very much, right? I'm almost certain something's in this town, and we'll find out soon enough if we start moving down this road. I did want to play another card. I'm going to play that grief card at some point, and I'll probably put it. We want to threaten that behind American lines, right? Maybe down at Clairvaux, something like that. But we'll get to it when we get there on the map. As we continue to move down here, again, this will continue to move faster and faster. But we gotta, first turn, I want to make sure I've got everything set up the way I want. Wow, so this got stopped right there. Gosh darn it. Artillery's in town. Stug is in town. Oh, that's Light Forest. Artillery's not there, but that's where it was stationed. Okay, that's all fine. Artillery here. I've got this Panzerjäger division. I was thinking about bringing it up this way, but we may not be very aggressive with this division. Certainly not the one all the way north. Let's see what happens if we wanted to attack this roadblock. Sure. Well, it's 42 to 1 with just the engineers. Well, that's what engineers are out here for. Although a roadblock, you could argue, is not really something an engineer, I mean, they really are out here to repair and build bridges. Let's do the concentric attack, 83 to 1, just to make sure. And I'm going to just do a regular attack here. Did we fire all artillery? We fired that. We fired that. Till I'm 100% used to the map, I'd probably be doing a little bit of this, just making sure we fired every bit of artillery. We stepped that one back. Okay, so let's attack this roadblock, and we're going to do it with both. We get the concentric bonus that way, plus 10. It's not good terrain. What is this? Light woods? Light urban. Oh, okay. Attack. Okay, we lose 10 Pioneers, we lose one of the 250s, and we lose 10 Volksgrenadiers. Okay, did we knock them out of here? We did. Excellent. And I want to go ahead and move into town. Now, we're probably going to take some return fire or intercept fire here, but we got to get moving here in a few places, and I want to get into town there. Oh, we take none. Nice. What about if we move the anti-tank in here? Would we take any? So we've got the engineers there. Let's move the anti-tank into town. We do take intercept fire there. They knock out one of our 37 millimeter flaks. Well, if we were going to lose anything, that's what I'd want to lose. We still have 8 left. We started with 9. We lose 1, but we don't lose the 88 millimeters, which are really where we could do some of our damage, right? All right, we've got this infantry up here. We've got kind of a, it's blocking here. Does this attack make sense? 1 to 2, 2 to 1. Now, I'd like to get rid of this cavalry. I have a feeling this cavalry is going to get the hell out of here. We'll see and get down the road. We could also, attempt an attack here. What do we get? 2 to 1 there. Nah, I'm gonna wait. We've moved into Cousin here. That's how you pronounce that. Conson. We've moved into that. I'm fine with that. I think that's good for this division. When we come back next time, like I said, I'm going to try to keep these under an hour. When we come back next time, we'll get out here with the 326th. But as you'll see, we've got a lot of work to do. We've gotten this far, but to be fair, first turn we're just getting everything kind of the way we want it lined up. After this, it should go a little faster, but hey, it's a big game. I love it. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. I know I certainly did. I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good one.